making this video, one, to ensure that you know I'm not for cancel culture, but two, to let you know that I am for read a book culture. I am for what do you know culture. I am for what do you believe in culture. And I think more women who are aesthetically pleasing, who have large platforms, have a responsibility to coax young women in this direction. Who cares about what bag you got last week? What book did you read last month? Who cares what trips you plan on taking in the fall? Me to me. What books do you plan on reading in the fall? Remaining sharp on these matters is quite literally our only line of defense. Otherwise, we are going to become a people obsessed and absorbed by getting into the club first, being the cutest in the section, being a baddie with a baddie friend. The list goes on. And our ancestors would be pissed. So this is a charge for me to do better, for you to do better, for us to do better. Brianna, I never meant to hurt your feelings, but I want you to know that video was gonna hurt the feelings of generations.
One thing about me, baby, ever since I was a kid, I have always had friends that I can just talk passionately about the things that I'm passionate about or the things that they're passionate about. I don't like having cute friends just to have cute friends. I don't like to just talk about the most basic random NPC conversation. I don't like to have those NPC conversations. I actually like to have very deep intellectual conversations, and I'm not someone that needs a lot of things in this world. I don't need you to buy me a lot of material items. No. As long as you take me to nature, as long as me and you get to talk about like the world and just a bunch of subjects, bro, I love that, you know? I want to be a mother that homeschools her child. So that is why I have already started, like, bro, this is all of my, like, just like a bunch of literature, whether it's, you know, Native American history, whether it's just random like financial literacy, whether it's about talking about, you know, my home country and like how to buy land from there, whatever. I have like a bunch of things, like I annotate a lot. I have these 2 journals. I have started like my journal collection. I have so much that I love to talk about, that I love to put in my mind. Like, all of this stuff has a lot to do with archaeology. That is one of the reasons why I went back to God. Before I was really godly, like 2 years ago, I was studying archaeology. I was studying about like the stars and all that stuff, and that is what led me to God. That is why I have a lot of these things, because all of this thing is talking about archaeology. Like right here, this is one of the you know, like the Native American mythologies, and I was like studying a lot of the mythologies around the world and all that stuff and the symbolism. But you see, like I said, like I have a bunch of notes that I just randomly take, and then this one is filled. You see, like all of my little annotations. This one is wait, I have some of my photos in here, but this, like, look at this. I love to just study. Like, I want friends that will be this passionate about random things. Like, this is not only is this the flower of life, but this is also geometry, and I wanted to incorporate this in my art. That is why I was learning about it, because one thing about me is I love the Renaissance era. Before Beyonce was the Renaissance, all of this, right? When I was in school, when I was in high school, I used to tell myself, I am the Renaissance queen. I'm going to achieve the Renaissance queen level. And in my mind, the Renaissance queen level is not only are you artistic when it comes to being able to paint, I'm a great painter, but you also need to be able to be an intellectual. You need to be able to study geometry. You need to be able to study the stars. You need to be able to be an inventor. Things like that. That to me is that is what makes a Renaissance queen, king, whatever, right? This whole entire book is filled, you guys, filled with history, filled with just tons of knowledge that I love, because that is what we need to be on. I don't need to hear about that. Oh my God, the Birkin bag. Okay, the Birkin bag is ugly. The Birkin bag is ugly. Bro, my mom, when I was 9 years old, she would tell me, you can't read that. Why are you reading that? Because I used to read, like, just the news. I used to read about what was going on in Ethiopia, the FGMs that are going on in Africa, in America. And I used to go up to my mom and I'd be like, did you know that this is going on over here and all this stuff? My mom would be like, you are too young to be reading that. Like, literally, my mom, my adopted mom, she would come upstairs. It would be 3 a.m. in the morning. Go to bed. Why? Because I was on my, like, 7th book. Bro, I used to be obsessed with reading when I was a younger kid. Oh my god, you couldn't stop me from reading. You could not stop me. I would stay up just to read, okay? Like, I would read novels and novels. That is what I want to talk about. We can be baddies, honey. We can be baddies. Let's be baddies with a mind. Okay? Let's be baddies with a hobby. Let's be baddies with talent. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of our people are not reaching the heights that we could because we don't understand our history enough. Not only that, but we can't even imagine ourselves doing that because we don't think of ourselves as highly like our ancestors used to. And that's why I love to read, because ain't no way, like, all of this, my makeup, my looks is gonna go, but maybe my mind, my experiences, my ability to go travel, like, all of those memories, it's gonna be forever. It's gonna be forever, baby, okay? As women, we are responsible for teaching the next generation. So if you are constantly feeding your child this baddies culture where it's just drama, women fighting women, and instead you're not teaching yourself so you can teach your child is just going to be another NPC. Your child is not going to have a mind of its own. This is why it's important for us not to talk about the material world. Let's actually talk about something that that it actually means something, that's actually going to help us progress in life.